Hi everyone, today we are going to read Act 1, Scenes 1, 2, and 3 of Romeo and Juliet. So let's get started. Act 1, Scene 1 starts off in a public street in the town of Verona with two of the Capulet servants named Samson and Gregory. So Samson says, "Gregory, on my word, I will go to the wall with any dog Montague." Gregory says, "The quarrel is between our masters and us, their servants." Samson, "I'll fight them all, the men and the maidens too." Gregory, "Even the women? Well, draw your sword. Here come two Montagues." Samson, "My weapon is already ready. Pick a fight. I will back you up." Gregory, "How? By turning your back and running?" Samson, "Don't be afraid of them." Gregory, "I'm more afraid of you." Samson, "Let's keep the law on our side. Let them start something." Gregory, "I'll frown at them as they pass by." Samson, "I will bite my thumb and insult them. Let's see how they take that." So here come Abraham and Balthazar, who are the Montague servants. So the Montagues and the Capulets, remember, they are two rival families that absolutely hate each other. Abraham says, "Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?" Samson, "I am biting my thumb, sir." Abraham, "Are you biting it at us, sir?" Samson says to Gregory, "Is the law on our side if I say yes?" Gregory says, "No." Samson, "No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I am biting my thumb." Gregory, "Do you want to start a fight, sir?" "A fight? No." Samson, "But if you do, I'll fight you. I serve as good a man as you do." Abraham, "No, I serve better." Samson, "Draw." So they all start fighting, and Benvolio, who is Romeo's cousin, enters. Benvolio says, "Part, fools, you don't know what you're doing." So he tells them to put down their swords. Here comes Juliet's cousin, Tybalt, from the rival household. Tybalt says, "So, are one of you these fools too? Turn around, Benvolio, and look upon your death." Benvolio, "I am trying to stop them." "Put up your sword or use it to stop these men with me." Tybalt, "You talk of peace. I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and you. Come on, coward." So Tybalt picks another fight, and now everybody is fighting, including a bunch of citizens who just start joining the fights. And they say, "Down with the Capulets, down with the Montagues." So here comes Lord Capulet with his wife, Lady Capulet. Capulet says, "What noise is this? Give me my long sword." Lady Capulet, "A crutch, you mean? Why a sword?" Capulet, "My sword, I say. Old Montague is coming. He is waving his blade to spite me." Here comes Lord Montague with his wife, Lady Montague. Montague says, "You villain Capulet, wife, let me go." Lady Montague, "No, not 1 foot against your foe." So Prince Aeschylus, he is the prince of the entire town of Verona, he comes out and stops the fight. So Prince Aeschylus says, "Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, you beasts who put out fires with anger with blood, throw your weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your angry prince. 3 fights started by you, old Capulet and Montague, have disturbed the quiet streets of Verona. If any of you ever does so again, you shall pay with your lives for breaking the peace. You, Capulet, come along with me. Montague, see me this afternoon. We will discuss this case at our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart." So the prince is very angry with the Capulets and the Montagues because they've started 3 fights in a public place that have disturbed the streets of Verona. So he threatens them and says that if they are ever caught fighting in public again, that he will sentence them to death. So everyone leaves except for Lord and Lady Montague and Benvolio. So Lord Montague says, "Who started up this old quarrel? Speak, nephew. Where were you when it began?" Benvolio, "The servants of your enemy and yours were fighting when I approached. I drew my sword to part them, but the fiery Tybalt with his sword ready shouted insults at me, and slashed his weapon in the wind. While we were swapping thrusts and blows, more came fighting on both sides, till the prince came, who stopped us all. Lady Montague, where is Romeo? Have you seen him today? I am glad that he was not here. Benvolio, Madam, an hour before the sun peered from the golden window of the east, my troubled mind made me go for a walk. I saw your son in a grove of sycamore trees, and I walked over to him. Hearing me, he fled and hid in the woods. I understood his need to be alone, so I gladly let him be. Lord Montague says, many a morning he has been seen there, adding his tears to the fresh morning dew, clouding the sky with his deep sighs. As soon as the cheerful sun begins to rise, my son runs home away from the light, locking himself in his room, shutting his window, locking out the daylight. He lives in his own artificial night. Benvolio, my noble uncle, do you know the cause? Montague, no, and he will not tell me. Romeo keeps his secrets to himself. I wish I knew from where his sorrows grow. We would willingly cure him of them, you know. Benvolio, here he comes. If you'll please step aside, I'll try to learn his problem. I won't be denied. Montague, come on, madam, let's leave. So Romeo's parents leave, so now Benvolio is going to try to figure out why Romeo has been so sad and depressed lately. So Benvolio says, good morning, cousin. Romeo, is it morning? Benvolio, the clock just struck 9. Romeo, oh me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father who left here so fast? Benvolio, yes. What sadness makes Romeo's hours long? Romeo, I am out of her favor of the one I love. Benvolio, alas, that love so gentle in appearance should make us feel so bad. Romeo, oh my, what fight was here? Don't tell me, for I've heard it all. There is much to do with hate here, but more with love. Oh, fighting love, oh, loving hate. This love I feel feels no love in this. Do you laugh at me? Benvolio, no, I weep at your heart's suffering. Romeo, such is love. Love is smoke sighs, a fire sparkling in lover's eyes, a sea nourished with lover's tears. It is a madness roaring in a wise man's ears. Farewell. Benvolio, wait, I'll go with you. Romeo, I've lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's somewhere else. Benvolio, tell me, who is it that you love? Cousin, I love a woman. Benvolio, I guessed so when I guessed you loved. Romeo, but she will not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She lives unharmed from love's bow. She will not fall to love's attack. My longing eyes are saint-seducing gold. She is rich in beauty. What a shame that her treasure will die with her. Benvolio, she has sworn that she will never love? Romeo, she has. She's sworn to live without love, and I die from that vow. Benvolio, listen to me. Forget her. Romeo, that would be like forgetting to think. Benvolio, free your eyes, look at other beauties. Romeo, a blind man cannot forget his lost sight. I cannot forget her beauty, try as hard as I might. Farewell, you cannot teach me to forget. Benvolio, I will, or will die trying yet. So Romeo is in love with a woman, and it's not Juliet, it's another woman named Rosaline. But Benvolio tells him to kind of just get over her and go look at other women to get over her. So you should pause the video here and fill in the blank reading guide for scene 1 of Act 1. Now that you filled in your fill in the blanks, we can get started with scene 2. So scene 2 takes place on a street near the Capulet house with Lord Capulet, a man named Paris, and one of Lord Capulet's servants. Lord Capulet says, Montague as well as I must obey the law. It is not hard for old men to keep the peace. Paris, both of you are honorable men. It is a pity that you have fought for so long. Now, sir, what do you say? May I marry your daughter Juliet? Capulet, as I have said, my child is too young. She's not even 14. Let 2 more summers go by, and then she will be ready. Paris. Younger girls than she have married. Capulet. And those that have are more often ruined. The grave has taken all of my other children but Juliet. She is my last joy on earth. But you may try to win her heart, Paris. My permission is only a part. If she agrees and chooses you, I will agree. Tonight, I'm having a party, and I have invited many guests. Please come too. Many beautiful women will be there. Listen and look, choose the best of them all. You may find that my daughter may not even be to your liking. He hands the servant a piece of paper. Go invite the people whose names are written here. Welcome them to my home. So Lord Capulet and Paris leave, and Lord Capulet's servant now has to go invite all of the people written on the list. So the servant says, invite the names written here? How? I cannot write or read. I must find someone who can. So here come Romeo and Benvolio. Benvolio says, Romeo, cheer up. One fire can put out another, just as a larger heartache can make you forget a smaller pain. Take a new girl to your eye, and those old sorrows of yours will die. Romeo says, I cannot. I am a madman for her, shut up in prison and kept without food, whipped and tormented. The servant says, excuse me, sir, can you read? Romeo, yes, I can read fortunes, and mine is miserable. Servant, oh, can you read anything else? Romeo, let me see your paper. He reads, Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Count Ansme and his beauteous sisters, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, Uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt. Quite a guest list. Where are they going? Servant, to supper at our house. Romeo, whose house? Servant, my master's. Romeo, perhaps I should have asked you that first. The servant says, don't ask, I'll tell you. My master is the great, rich Lord Capulet. And if you are not a Montague, you may come for a drink as well. So the servant cannot read the list, and he accidentally asks Romeo to read the list. And he invites Romeo to the party, which is a mistake because Romeo is a Montague, and he should not be allowed to go to the Capulet party. So the servant doesn't know that he just did this. So the servant leaves, and Benvolio says, that Rosaline who you love so much will be at the Capulets tonight, with all the other beauties of Verona. Let's go there and compare her face with all of the others. I'll show you that your swan is really a crow. Romeo says, no one is prettier than Rosaline. The sun has never seen one like her since the world began. Benvolio, you saw her with no one to compare her to. Tonight she'll seem less than some. I'll show you. Romeo, I'll go, no such sights to be shown, but to rejoice in the beauty of my own. So tonight, Romeo and Benvolio are going to the rival Capulet's household, and Romeo is in love with a woman named Rosaline, so she will be at the party tonight, which is why Romeo wants to go to the party. Benvolio is trying to get Romeo to go to the party to look at the other beautiful women that will be there so that he can forget about Rosaline and get over her. So you can pause the video here again to fill in scene 2 on your fill in the blanks reading guide. Now that you've filled in the blanks for scene 2, we can go on and read scene 3. Scene 3 starts in a room in the Capulet's household with Lady Capulet and the nurse. Lady Capulet says, Nurse, where is my daughter? Call her. The nurse, Juliet. Juliet enters. Juliet, Mother, I'm here. What do you wish? Lady Capulet says, Nurse, excuse us, please. We must talk in private. No, wait, you may stay and listen. Do you know my daughter's age? Nurse, yes, I can tell her age up to the hour. Is she 14? I'll bet 14 of my teeth, though I only have 4. But now that I think of it, she's not yet 14. When is the festival of Lamistide? Lady Capulet, in about 2 weeks. Nurse, then she will be 14. I can remember it all. It's been 11 years since I first took care of her. Even at that age, she could stand by herself. She could run and waddle all around. One day she hurt her head. My husband picked her up and said, "Did you fall on your face? Well, when you're older and smarter, you'll fall backwards, won't you?" She left crying and said yes. If I live 1,000 years, I'll never forget that. Lady Capulet. Please, enough of this. Be quiet. Nurse. It still makes me laugh. She had a huge bump. Juliet. Please, nurse, please stop. Nurse. You were the prettiest baby I ever nursed. I hope I live long enough to see you married. Lady Capulet. That's what I came to talk to you about. Tell me, Juliet, what do you think about marriage? Juliet. It is an honor I do not dream about. Lady Capulet. Well, think of it now. Here in Verona, there are mothers younger than you. I was younger than you when I had you. Did you know that the handsome Paris wants to marry you? Nurse says, Oh, Juliet, what a man. He's perfect. Lady Capulet. Tonight he will be at our party. Look closely at his face. Examine him like a book. A handsome book that only needs you as a cover. As his wife, you will share everything he has. What do you say? Could you love Paris? Juliet says, I will look at him, if that's all it takes to love, but I will only look as much as I have to because you want me to. The servant enters and says, Madam, the guests are here and supper has been served. Everyone is waiting for you and Juliet. Please come at once. Lady Capulet, we're coming. Juliet, Paris is waiting for you. Nurse, go, Juliet. Happy nights will bring you happy days, too. So you can see that Lady Capulet really wants Juliet to try to look at Paris to see if she wants to marry him. And even the nurse at this point is kind of telling Juliet to go and look at him because he's a handsome and rich man. And you can kind of tell that the nurse is a very funny, chatty woman, but Lady Capulet is more serious, much more serious. So now that we've finished reading scenes 1, 2, and 3, make sure you have your fill in the blanks for scenes 1, 2, and 3 filled in, and you can submit them on Canvas.